This is Black Money.
About economic liberation and freedom.
Critical conversations to invigorate our communities through Black-led CDFIs.
But most importantly, we want people to create wealth.
When we look at our communities, we still see a big disinvestment.
Going from resourceful to resourced.
CDFIs have that high touch. They understand their customers. They know how to reach out to those customers. They stay in touch with those customers.
We are trying to create job makers and not just job takers.
Yeah, I've even heard it said recently that great leaders don't lead from the top down, they lead from the bottom up because they're actually lifting everybody.
We have to do more than just being a regular lender.
Don't give me this story about if I teach you how.
What's going on, LinkedIn? Good to be back with everybody here for Women's History Month. So excited. I'm Justin Minott at the African American Alliance of CDFI CEOs, and I am joined by the world changer, the incredible Diane Starks, CEO of Urban Beginnings Choice Federal Credit Union. So good to have you here, Diane.
Hello, Justin. Thank you, and thank you for having me. It is good to be here also.
Of course. Now, how does it feel to be so great? That's my first question. How does it feel on your day-to-day experience to just be this powerful, world-changing Black woman out here doing the work? How does that feel?
That big word you said, great. I'd honestly say I'm thankful for it. A lot of times I still can't believe that it's Diane Starks doing this until I get in my mode and my everyday work. Then it's Diane Starks. So it is great. I can honestly say, and I'm so thankful. I really am.
You're doing this. So how did you get here? Give us the backstory, the making of Diane Starks getting into this position as the CEO of an incredible financial institution doing beautiful work in our communities.
Yes. So I have a background of finance, didn't come from a background of banking. And through that background of finance, I do bookkeeping and have done that probably over the last 15 years. And a church member knew I did bookkeeping and actually, hey, Diane, do you have 10 hours to do some bookkeeping for the credit union? Of 10 hours? I'm like, yeah, I definitely could do that. And to fast forward, did an interview because she was leaving. And so they had their CEO position open, did an interview for the bookkeeping. And on the second interview, they said, hey, we're interested in you becoming our intern CEO. And that back to that word, great. I thought me, Diane, like this little filthy rag, I would honestly say, it just blew my mind and I just could not believe. But I knew once I settled into it, I knew it was nothing but God that had placed me where I needed to be. So it was from a 10-hour bookkeeping, honestly, to an intern CEO, and I'm going into my fourth year now being CEO. So it has just been a great journey. It's been a learning journey. It's been a hard journey, but we're still improving and we're still making an effect on members each and every day.
Yes, I see it. Now, here's what I want to know, because it's an opportunity for us to brag on ourselves here. And I'm not passing it up. I'm not taking, you got to be saying the good things. We call it self-abrating. You're celebrating yourself. Mm-hmm. What about you do you think they saw? What about you do you think God saw to put you in this position? Because clearly you're here for a reason. And it's not just little old me or, dirty rag. No, you're here for a reason. So now brag on yourself. What about you?
I really feel like my inner heart has always been I've always have been a background person, a supportive background. And so if you know with the background people, they do a lot of the forceful work, but the ones in front, do the face forward part of it. But I've always been in background. And so Diane has always cared and always been the one to help out no matter what. I've always been that, here, I'll do it. Here, let me help, that jump in. And so I just think back over all that, my leadership I've done in management with my corporate job when I worked corporate for 19 years, all that, and then my faith and all that and so that's why when I say this filthy rag, I really mean like this. And so I can now I can honestly say, walk differently, embracing the CEO position. When I can honestly say, when I first got the call, it really took me back, but I Doug and I still get a little Jerry mouth to hear me. But I embraced it. And so now I embrace it and walk tall with it and make that difference. And knowing that with this position, I can make a big impact on a lot of lives that I see each and every day. So to brag on Diane, I am excited to be able to be that one to make that difference.
Wow. No, you're doing it. Now, I want to know, because I feel like a lot of people can relate to this, people who are called into front-facing leadership positions, maybe the reluctant leaders, right? The people, big heart, doing the work, maybe in the background before, and now are being called into a position where it's like, no, you need to speak, you need to advocate, you need to be out front. And they're maybe feeling reluctant about that. Talk about that part of your journey and how you overcame that, or some of the mindset shifts that you had to undergo, because I feel like a lot of our listeners can relate to that.
Definitely believing in yourself. You know what's in you. And so when you're always in that back row, of course, you're supporting, but knowing that you can do it. And I would just say believing in yourself, putting your best foot forward. And I go back to, there's no way he put me where I am without supporting me and giving me the tools I need to continue. And that means like from decreasing my mind at night to, in the middle of the night, waking up thinking of numbers. And so I would just advise someone to just believe in yourself. That would be the best part of it, to believe in yourself.
Right, because you're exactly where you need to be. Whether or not you think you are,
exactly.
What do they say in church? God doesn't call the equipped, he equips the called, right? So
right.
You're there. So how has this last 4 years gone? Talk about that journey, what it was like coming in, and where you've taken the organization in the last 4 years.
Right. So Urban Beginners Choice started in 2006. It was established, and that was under the name of Union Baptist Church. The late Sylvester Hunter, which was the pastor at that time. When I started in 21, you had to come to the church to get your balance. As far as giving, it was only for members of that church and their family members. There was like 1 or 2 affiliates added probably within that time. So when I came on in 21, it was Union Baptist Church and maybe 1 other affiliate church that could be members. Fast forward, they were in the process of adding ACH and online banking. And through the strategic planning, we did online banking first. One, so members can see their balance without having to come to Secondly, now we have ACH was kind of, I figured, my baby, because I was just kind of starting in that process. ACH allows a member to be able to, transfer funds into the account, make deposits without having to come to the credit union. So I have family members say, I want to join, but they live out of town. How are they going to get funds? So now that we have ACH, it's a game changer. Our loan members with loans, they can pay their loans online from whatever financial institution, from their employer. So it's made a difference. So from not being able to see your balance in your account to online banking, now ACH. And Justin, we are this month, we received a grant last year to be able to implement checking account. And so strategically, we wanted to be ready. We didn't want to just do the checking and not be ready. So you can see your balance. Now you can deposit in there. And now we'll be adding checking accounts, which will come with the debit cards as well. So the credit union is doing amazing things. We are making a difference in so many members' lives that we touch, that have come to us for whether it's financial literacy consultation, whether it's for loans, for a small loan to kind of get their credit together to purchase a home. Or I think of one loan that we did to help someone save their home. And it was a small loan, but it made a difference. And so those things is what Urban Beginners Choice is really about. And being a CDFI, we just, of course, we embrace that as well, to be that, to break that barrier, or to be that difference for someone that really needs it.
So we're sitting here doing this interview March 18th at a time where CDFIs are under attack, right? Which, I mean, who would have thought that it would be controversial to have a community development financial institution, literally a financial institution, to develop our communities. I have no idea how that got under attack. But let's talk about the value of CDFI. So why are you a CDFI? What do you feel like that adds to your community and communities beyond?
Being a CDFI, it definitely makes a difference. I'm just going to kind of go back to lending and financial literacy. So with the lending portion, that member may have gone to a traditional financial institution. If their credit score wasn't the best or at a top tier, then they would not be able to get that loan. With us having our CDFI status, we're able to do high-risk loans. When we get grants, we're able to use some grant funding to back those for loan loss. And so for a member to be able to get a loan when they know they've gone to other financial institutions and then they come to us, we're able to get them a loan, not be at a high rate. We're able to, we're not predatory, so they're not going to pay that high rate. We have some very competitive rates, and we're able to do that. So they're going to feel satisfied. We also, Justin, when members want to go look for a car, we get them pre-approved so that when they go to that dealership, they walk out there to find the car. They already know the dollar amount that they've been approved for, so they don't have to worry about waiting on someone to turn them down. They already know they're pre-approved. They can look for the vehicle that they want. It's already been discussed as far as the monthly payment, when what's comfortable for them. And so they walk out there proud. And a lot of dealerships, of course, they don't like that because you tell them I already have my financing. I'm already pre-approved my credit union. But our CFI allows us to help individuals in that kind of way.
I love the work that you're doing. I want to give a shout out to Jermaine McIver Cherry in the chat here, one of my colleagues at the Alliance. Who else is tuning in? Hop in the chat. Let us know, because that's why we do this live, so that we can be here with each other on the journey. So excited to be here. All right. So now, Urban Beginnings, what do you see on the horizon? What are you working on currently as you continue to innovate in this CEO position?
We started out being a faith-based field of membership. We have expanded that now to a multi-common bond, which means we can bring on organizations, other affiliates. And what our goal is to the next level would be to expand our field of membership to include the southeast of Fort Wayne. And so the southeast of Fort Wayne is our target market, where it's low income designated area. And so we're going to expand our field of membership so that anyone that lives, worship, or works in that area will be able to join the credit union. And so with expanding that, we were able to reach more individuals, more businesses, more companies, and so be able to make a difference, even that much in a larger scale. More than
love where you're heading. Now, for you, I mean, this work is not easy, right? Your community development plus financial institution, right? Like those are two really big pieces. Why are you doing this? Like for you, what is your why that just keeps moving you, keeps driving you forward on the difficult days or when the entire CDFI fund is under attack?
Right. When I first saw the notification that the CDFI is under attack, I'm like, not the CDFI. We help people. We make that difference for individuals. But my why, Justin, I can honestly say when I see a member that I know we made a difference, that I know with them being able to get the loan, even made a difference in their life. So it helps put some confidence in them, where people say, just give me a chance. And so with them getting a loan, knowing they've been turned down other places, giving them that chance. I think back, so when I first started, a member had a predatory loan, and she was paying $200 every 2 weeks, and only $20 was going toward the loan. So all the rest of that was interest. And, of course, our loan committee, instantly, oh, she got to get out of that. And so thinking back, making that difference, I just can't. So my why, it has changed. First, I was like, why me, Lord? Why me? And why not you, Diane? Right? And so now my why is to make a difference. I know with the savings, it makes a difference. Diane hasn't always been a credit, money management, so I know that it makes a difference in someone's life to have that positivity given to them and giving them a chance throughout their journey.
I love that. That is so well said. Now, big question we always ask on this show, taking it deeper. What does Black liberation mean to you?
Oh, Black liberation. It can be deep, Justin.
We can go deep. We don't swim in the kiddie pool over
For
here.
so long, I think that we were held to limits, maybe. Maybe we thought that limits that we could only get this, we could only get that. But we're able to see now that it's no limit to what we can do. It's no limit to where we can be. It's no limit to where we can go. And so our forefathers, they have stood in just some deep trenches for us to be able to do and have the opportunities that we have today. I always say for Pastor Hunter and Herb Singleton, who started one of the main individuals started this credit union, I'm just on their shoulders, right? I'm just trying to continue on what they started. And so to continue that as, our Black liberation, to continue to empower our Black people, to continue to show them that we are something, we can make that difference. And so those kind of things just always resonate with me.
Now we're sitting, I love March, one, because it's my birthday month, but that's, not the only reason. The other reasons are February is Black History Month, and then we get Women's History Month. And I have the privilege of being around Black women doing incredible work and get to celebrate them from, all year, but especially focused in, this time. So let's talk about, for Women's History Month, you are literally making history right now as we speak. It's not just women's history about things that women did, although we need to celebrate that, but what you're doing now. Talk about the power of being who you are, all the ways that you show up in these spaces, but especially as a woman during this time. How does it feel to be such an incredible world changer in that way?
It does. It's a proud feeling. It's a proud feeling that little, that I have granddaughters. I have 5 granddaughters. So that my 5 granddaughters can see, that they can be even more than what they think they can be, more than what they even can dream of. So you would have never told me this 20 years ago that this is where I would be. But I stand in it and I stand strong in it, and to continue to push, to continue to celebrate Black women. When I introduce the credit union, I say we're not Black owned, but we're Black led. And then it's me, the face that you see. And so I was just at a presentation last week, and that was one thing they said. I'm proud to see a black female, not just a Black, but a Black female. And so it does. Women stand, not to take it from the guys, but women, Black women that stand tall and stand strong in what they believe in to make that difference. So that's what I enjoy. Yeah.
It's interesting that, even that little phrase that you said, like not to take it from the guys or anything like that. It's almost like it's this zero-sum game that, celebrating or uplifting some group of people. And this is across the board, right? If we're talking about celebrating and uplifting Black people, it's like, well, not to take away from these people. It's like, nah, we get to have our moment. You get to have your moment as a woman, as a Black woman, as a human. You get to have these moments. So I'm not, guys, they're fine. They are fine. They're good. Like, at our conference, we have the ladies lounge. That last year we had this ladies lounge, this year advocating again. And the guys are like, where's our stuff? I'm like, y'all got it. We got something for y'all. Don't worry about that. But, having this protected space for folks, I think is just important. So anyway, going on my rant here over on this side. What's up back here? I see Mac McNeil over here, NCRC. Doing big work. Hey, Mac, in the chat, what are you seeing, man? Because I know NCRC, y'all are on the front lines of a lot of this stuff. What's going on with you? I want to make sure that you're good. So, good. Okay, back to the show. That was our commercial break. All right. How are we doing so far, Diane? You enjoyed yourself?
We're doing good.
Oh, good. This is wonderful.
As you can see, I have water behind me. I'm on some little beach or something. So
yeah, you're on some tropical. Hey, wherever you want to be, if you can dream it, you can be it. So that's
right.
beautiful. Now, okay, 4 years, how has the leadership journey been for you in this space? 4 years as a CEO, going from more the behind the scenes support. What have you learned? Let me ask it this way. What do you know now that you would go back and tell 4 years ago, Diane, about the leadership journey and give some advice to 4 years ago, CEO Diane stepping into this role?
I would tell Diane that you were already destined for this. Like, this was already waiting on you. I would tell Diane, it's okay not to know. Just ask the question. So sometimes we get caught up thinking we have to know everything. And so that's one thing I learned early on in talking to one of my mentors is like, if you don't know, just say you don't know, instead of saying things that, and then you're going to get yourself in the circle. Right. So, I would tell Diane, just be you. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right. Just be you. And that is so true. I think, asking questions, vulnerability is not a sign of weakness. To me, it's a sign of strength. Right. The rest of it is just posturing and ego and pretending like you have it all together. Ain't nobody have it together. Anybody here listening, y'all got it together. Raise your hand in this chat and let me know, because we want to study y'all, because you don't. Now, for the next phase of the journey, for you as a leader, what does it take to get from where you are to where you're going? What are some of the ways that you're leading your team forward, your organization forward, to move this organization where you want it to be?
In doing that, I am constantly contacting our local churches to have that church to increase our field of membership. So having the churches to join, and so that way all their members and their affiliates, if they have a daycare, they can become a part. And then advise them, hey, we have financial literacy every month. And so if they're financially fit, that's fine, but they may have a granddaughter, they may have a niece or nephew that might need some financial literacy or some financial information that might help them. So I'm continuing to reach out to the churches and organizations as well. So my Thrive Now is to continue to grow Urban Beginners Choice. One, so that we can have members to join, and then for them to put money in. And so I'm telling the churches, I tell them, y'all don't got to bring all y'all money over here, but come bring some money over here. Join the credit union. We're right in the community. We do a lot of things in the community, and we're continue to do more. So we have a well-diverse board. And so we're out at events, setting up, and then our financial literacy we do each month. We're advertising that, trying to get individuals to come just so they can know, hey, if you have some barriers with your credit, come listen to the financial literacy to help you understand that it's up to you to make that change, but that we're going to give you some tools to help you do it.
I love it. So we talked a lot about the CDFI piece. Now, on the credit union side, what does it actually do when someone comes and puts their money with you? How does that actually work? Why? Like, why bank black? Why go and put my money at a credit union run by a black woman? Like, what does that actually do?
Yeah. So as members put their shares in, their money into their share account, that allows the credit union to, do loans. So of course, as money comes in, we're able to do loans on that money. So, and you're supporting the credit union. So a lot of times people say, I want to put my money where the black said, I want to put my money. Well, here is a credit union right here in Fort Worth, Indiana, where you can put your money in where the blacks are. So that's going to support Black individuals. And we support all individuals, don't get me wrong, but we're definitely going to support, we'll have that support back for you. I see we have a question.
Yeah, I want to pop this question up. It's right in the same vein. That's why. So how do you stress the importance of depositing Black dollars in Black-led institutions? How do you get that point across to folks, and what really resonates with people where they're like, oh, I get it. It's worth, boycotting, or it's worth putting my money here, or it's worth, and I'll say it this way, just to add this piece as I'm in this moment. You were talking about some boycotts. We're talking about some different things, economic moves. It is inconvenient sometimes to do some of these actions. Obviously, putting money in a credit union, not inconvenient. You got online banking now. You got all these different things. But for some people, they're overcoming the barrier of change, inconvenience. Thinking back to the bus boycotts, they literally walked. Talk about inconvenience to create change in this financial system. So how do you get people to overcome that? How do you stress that importance?
With that, I advise them, if as you're putting your funds into the credit union, one, you don't have to come. So it's a convenience now that you can sign up. You can become a member, sign up online, sign up to online banking and deposit in. And so I do stress that as you give your funds, deposits, I should say, your deposits to the credit union, it allows us to increase our shares. And of course, we always want to increase. So we always want to continue to grow. And that helps grow the credit union. So one thing I'd say, help the credit union grow. If that's one thing you can do in this community, what can you do for the credit union? Help the credit union to grow. So a lot of times we will, hear individuals say, well, we don't have this, we don't have that, but we do have this. We do have a Black credit union that's a Black-led credit union that you can put your funds into. And sometimes they say, well, I already got 2 bank accounts. It's okay. Make this a third and just make this your savings account, an account away from account. So there can always be some buts of behind, but the 2 things I say, again, like I said to the churches, you don't got to put all, I ain't saying bring all your money, bring your benevolence money and sit it in the credit union. As I say to organizations, bring some of your funds and sit in the credit union. So if you already have a couple bank accounts, that's okay. This is still a credit union. We need your support. And so that's kind of what I stress to individuals as I talk to them about joining a credit union, whether it's an employer or an organization. We need your support to continue to help this credit union grow.
Yeah, well said. All right. So rounding out this conversation, the community development piece of community development financial institutions, what do you see as the way for CDFIs to have an even bigger difference, to make an even bigger splash, bigger impact in the communities that we serve? How can we use this moment where there's a lot of disarray, a lot of chaos, to say, what are the opportunities here? What do you see as the opportunities for CDFIs? Because these are helpers, they're doers who always step up in moments of crisis, whether that's disaster relief, PPP loans coming out of COVID. Like, CDFIs are the ones boots on the ground stepping up all the time. So what opportunities do you see as a visionary for CDFIs to really step up and even deepen their impact in a moment like this?
One thing comes to mind, say educating what a CDFI does. Even you're just breaking it down. I know sometimes things go to high level, but maybe breaking it down even more, showing examples. Because even when I speak to people, they say, what's a CDFI? And I go into the detail, but I think more just talking about CDFIs more, what a CDFI does, how it can help your community, how it can help your organization, how it can help your underserved area. And so I think just talking about it more in more deep terms and what it actually is, more education to it.
I love that. And now, what are you seeing in your community as far as the impact of 2025 so far? How is it affecting real people on the ground right now? And what are some of the opportunities for CDFIs to now serve? Because we're even talking, our conference this year is the power of service. Service is not a weak thing. It is a powerful position to be in, a position of service. So how can CDFIs serve? What's some of the needs that are emerging right now in your community and beyond, whatever you're seeing?
Right. I know our community housing development, partnering with whether it's our local city, whether it's an existing housing development. I know here we have Habitat, some of those areas, partnering with them. We don't have to recreate it, but partnering with them, using our CDFI status with them to make the project that much stronger. Us alongside with them can just make it much stronger in the area. And so I see us being able to collaborate, not to stand alone, but just do more collaboration, maybe with other groups in the community, other organizations, especially housing. Because I know housing right now has been in our city. They've talked a lot about housing development, developers, things like that. And so even kind of going to the green energy as well, like those kind of things that we're partnering with to, if someone, replacing their furnace, and, of course, that'll help the bills to go down, the gas bill, the water bill, getting hot water tanks. So those kind of things, to being able to partner or collaborate with other organizations.
I love this concept of partnering. And I do want to echo that I think CDFIs have an opportunity especially community development focused CDFIs, have an opportunity to be a convener in this time, to actually be the one bringing folks to the table, be an ecosystem builder, right? Grabbing all these people and saying, all right, let's get together because we have a common thing that we're trying to accomplish, which is the development of our community. So how do we do that better together? We bring the CDFI part, I think that right now is needed more than ever. It's like break down these barriers and partner with folks who are doing beautiful work. So thank you so much for that. I love it. Diane, you've been wonderful. Thank you for being here and joining us on the show. Any last words of encouragement that you can put out specifically to the Black women out here listening to this show? What words of wisdom do you have for them as they continue to be great?
Great. Again, Justin, I want to thank you for, I said this, or thank you for just thinking of me to choose me. I know there's many other women in our alliance that you could have chosen. So I appreciate you highlighting myself in Urban Beginners Choice. I would say to other women, continue to stand strong, continue to make the difference. We're here for a reason. And so let's be in our reason.
I love it. Yes, yes, yes. All right. Thank you, Diane. And to everyone who chose to be here with us today for LinkedIn Live, I really appreciate you. You could have been anywhere else and you chose to be here with us. So thank you. Please share this interview. Costs nothing to do it, and it multiplies the impact of this work and what Diane's doing at Urban Beginnings Choice. We want to make sure we get more eyes on the work that she's doing. So blast this out, hit repost, and share the word. All right. Keep being great, y'all, especially you women out there. Thank you for being exactly who you are. You're needed. You're needed. And we're here to support. So, all right. Sending lots of light, sending lots of love, and we will talk soon. Bye for now. This is Black Money.
About economic liberation and freedom.
Critical conversations to invigorate our communities through Black-led CDFIs.
But most importantly, we want people to create wealth.
When we look at our communities, we still see a big disinvestment.
Going from resourceful to resourced.
CDFIs have that high touch. They understand their customers. They know how to reach out to those customers. They stay in touch with those customers.
We are trying to create job makers and not just job takers.
Yeah, I've even heard it said recently that great leaders don't lead from the top down, they lead from the bottom up because they're actually lifting everybody.
We have to do more than just being a regular lender.
Don't give me this story about if I teach you how